Hi, this is Bruce Potter, Integrated Pest Management Specialist with the University of Minnesota Extension, and I'm standing in some soybean aphid research plots at the Southwest Research and Outreach Center in Redwood County, Minnesota, and we're going to talk a little bit today about early season aphid scouting. One of the things you want to look for is ants on these soybean plants, lady beetles, other predators. As we walk through here, look at some of these plants. The easiest way to do it is maybe even pull one up, take a look. They're going to be on the underside of these leaves up towards the top of the plant. If you've got growing points lower down in the plant on a branch, take a look at those. Underneath this leaf towards the top of the plant, we've got a small colony of soybean aphids. There's 3 or 4 in this little bunch clustered together. These are the result of a female depositing these 3 nymphs. Here's another one up here. That female's long gone, probably a winged female moving through the field. These are all females. They're all going to have be able to produce more nymphs, and this population can come up pretty quick. Here's a leaf that has quite a few more aphids on it. You can see, maybe make out some of the winged, some of these are crowded. They're producing some winged females that are going to disperse and colonize new plants. Here's an ant that's tending these colonies. What those ants are actually after is the honeydew. Basically aphid feces is composed of sugar water. That's what those ants are after. They tend those aphids. They'll keep them clustered up on a plant. A lot of these nymphs, if you look at them close under a hand lens, are going to have wing pads. This colony is going to disperse. Early in the season, as aphids colonize the field, there'll be little pockets in the field. Part of that's because it's founded by individual females. The other factor involved is ants tend to keep these aphids clumped together for their honeydew. But what you'll find is these small hot spots of aphids in the field. What you'll start seeing is maybe some distorted leaves, some cupping. You might start to see a little honeydew on the leaves. But these are little pockets where aphid populations have gotten very high. And from here, winged females move out and colonize additional plants in the field. Here we're looking at a little close-up of this aphid hotspot. And what we can see is the aphid feeding pressure has puckered up some of these leaves, distorted them. Right down here at the base, there's a little orange maggot. That's the larva of an aphid midge. These are predators on aphids, so not all is lost. We've got some biocontrol happening out here. And a lot of times that actually keeps these populations in check fairly well. This one's outnumbered. This is the underside of one of these upper soybean leaves in this hotspot, and it's actually absolutely packed with soybean aphid nymphs. If you look at these real close, you can kind of see that they've got an orange color to the head area. And they do have wing pads. All right, here's a convergent lady beetle that's moved in to take advantage of the aphid population. We've also got in this leaf axil a small lady beetle larvae, and these predators will continue to move into these areas with high aphid density early in the spring. Why we don't want you to trait these individual hotspots is you may be taking out a few hotspots, but you're also removing a lot of beneficial organisms from the field. So you can count a plant that's got a high aphid population as a hotspot, but include that in your 80% plants infested and also your 250 per plant average. As you go through the field, don't just look at the field edge. Get off the edge a little bit. Look at plants throughout the field. Here's a small potato leafhopper nymph. They're more active than an aphid. This one's moving around a little bit. They're also web-shaped, but they're about the same color. Don't include these. They're usually not a problem on soybeans at all. Finally, as the growing season progresses, aphids like this new growth. but that tends to stop about late R4, early R5, and these aphids, you'll start finding them lower and lower in the canopy. So you have to change your search pattern. You can't just look at the top of the plant. You have to look through the whole plant. It gets a little more time consuming, but that's just the way the game has to be played. We'll talk about this in another video later on as we get further into the season.